Hi, besties. Welcome to tonight's live. Hi, Lisa. Hi, everyone. Few people waiting to join on. I'm going to bring Faith on in a minute. We were just getting set up in the back trying to work out the kinks. We're hoping we can get her streamed over on her channel. How's everybody doing tonight? Hey, Laura. Hey, Jessica. Thank you guys so much for coming. I am going to bring Faith on. And so we can chat and hopefully she can get streaming. Does everybody know Faith? I hope you know Faith. She's so much fun. She's adorable. She's gorgeous. All right, let's add her to the stage. Hi, Faith.
Hi.
Hi, Janie. Hi, Ollie. Ollie's here. How's everybody doing tonight? Julie from Louisiana. Hi. Hey, Samantha. How are you feeling, Samantha? So, if you all don't know Faith, she has a YouTube channel. She does a lot with fashion, a lot with wigs now. You probably all know her. But if you don't, I am leaving her channel pinned up at the top so you can find her channel so you can go and subscribe and like and all of the things. Thank you, Lori and oh my gosh. Lori and Roxy from Two Loving Klutzes are on. Can you see the chat, Faith? Is that okay on your end?
Yeah, I can see everybody.
Cool. Did you figure out how to live stream over on your channel? No?
Well, no, I didn't. Okay. I didn't.
Yeah, the problem is I don't have anything Apple, and Faith has everything Apple, so I'm like, I can't help you. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing. Hi, Trixie.
It's a whole different beast when you're working with Apple.
Yes, it is. Yeah. All of our guys at work all have Apple, phones and iPads and all that. And I can't help them. I'm so glad I am not in IT at our job because it would just not happen. I see Coy walking around back there.
I was just going to say, dear.
Hi, a little Faith. Thank you, Ollie. This is Melrose from Chelsea Smith Cosmetics. I get most of my wigs from there. Hey, Mary. I've kind of introduced Faith to that website, which I'm kind of an enabler. Like, I'm like, oh, by the way, have you ever bought a Chelsea Smith? Here's the website. Go get one.
And now we're like, hey, it's Wig Show Tuesday. Are you hopping on? What did you?
Yeah, right. What are you buying tonight? I've been trying not to buy, a lot of things, but because I have I was going through my wigs yesterday and I probably have about 20 wigs, maybe or more. Wait, let me think about this. 1 over 5. So 18. Yeah, I have about 25 wigs right now, and that is a lot less than I've had over the amount of time I've had wigs. I mean, there's sometimes I've counted up to 70. Like I don't even have enough heads for that many wigs. So, but, I mean, what am I doing with my life?
You need all the colors.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, Brian. Oh, my sweetie's on. Hi, Brian. He's out of town this weekend. So I'm like bacheloretting it over here. Eating, cereal for dinner and stuff.
Well, the cat is away. The mouse will play.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I'm over here just bacheloretting it.
From Ireland. Hello.
Hi, Kim. Thanks, Trixie. Oh, hi, Rachel. So if anybody hasn't also subscribed to Loving Klutzes is kind of new. On YouTube, they do some Temu hauls and everything. If everybody wants to head over to their channel. Hi, Alice. Hola, amiga. I don't speak Spanish. I just kind of pretend. That's about the only 2 words I know. I bet Faith knows how. Oh my gosh! I almost lost I did lose my screen there. My light fell over. So I just thought I'd bring Faith on to talk. I knew there would be some kind of technical difficulty back here. I just knew it. I knew that was going to happen. I figured I'd fall out of my chair or something. So. Jessica's son won his baseball team game tonight, so congrats to him. Alice, she's like, girl, I don't speak Spanish either. That's funny. That's even funnier because yeah.
I've been with Israel for 10 years and I know words. I can speak many, many, many words. I just can't put them together in a sentence and have a conversation.
Oh, well, it's good to know some words. I mean, I know like cerveza. Or,
Queso,
yeah,
dinero.
quesadilla, taco. I don't know. Hi, DC. So I just thought I'd bring Faith on. Maybe you guys had questions about wigs or fashion. If you haven't checked out Face Laugh's video, I just watched it today. I'm a little bit behind on watching my YouTube videos, but she has a. Did you get by all those clothes from Shein? Were they all Shein clothes in your last video?
Yeah, the last video I did was all Shein.
Okay, she had the cutest stuff in that haul. I wish I could fit into some of it. I actually went on your links and I'm like, oh dang, if they had this in like one size bigger, I'd buy it. That boho shirt with the country western type with the flowy sleeves. Oh, I love that. It was so pretty. And then you find the most interesting pieces I've probably ever seen anyone find on YouTube. And then you put them on and you actually make them look good. So when you go on Shein and you look for clothes, do you look specifically for items that maybe, are they your style, or do you pick out things that you think would be interesting, or how do you pick out your clothes on there?
So Shein, I haven't done too much with Shein, but they have like these product line categories that you can go into, and then you can specifically pick out from that line, like the boho feels is one line, and then you can scroll through there. But on Temu, on the other side, because most of my fashion I've done Temu, I just type in bizarre fashion and just
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Would you consider that your style?
Bizarre, yes. So if I'm going to a thrift store, I kind of run my hand along the fabrics and I kind of just sift through. And if I see a different type of texture or material, then I'll pull it out because I want something that's different, right? Not just your regular, but something different. So yeah. I'll pull that out. And if it's too boring, I'll put it back and try to find another one.
Right. Yeah. I just wondered like how you find such interesting pieces.
Yes, Jess, the Emery Rose is another really cute collection. I did pick up that long sleeve dress that was from Emery Rose. They're kind of like that boho, comfy, casual attire too.
Hey, I dropped Faith's link to her channel in the chat, so if anybody wants to go over there and subscribe, please do that. Does Kim Stevenson wants to know, does anyone else shop Shein and do you like them? I have bought many clothes from Shein, and actually this is from Shein. This kimono thing, it's from Shein. I've had it for years. I've washed it. It washes really well. I wear it all the time. So yeah, I would say their clothes are, you can find pretty good clothes on there.
If you shop the specific shops, you'll get the better quality stuff. But if you're just sifting through like the main homepage, similar to Temu, you're pretty much kind of gambling Temu quality at that point too. But my tip for everybody is if you're looking through clothes, it's really important to go through all of those pictures because, on Temu, it's like that first picture is that clickbait. And then you kind of have to scroll through and zoom in. Is it digitally printed? Does it look plasticky or shiny or too synthetic? So we have Kaya.
Hi, Kaya. Samantha wants to know where all of our kitties are. Mine are somewhere around. I have no idea where they went.
And there's Israel.
Hi, Israel.
How are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Jessica said she just hauled a couple kimonos from Temu. I love Temu's kimonos and Shein's. All of them seem to be really good, and I'm a kimono gal. That's like my style. Yeah, Brian says that's my cape.
Okay.
Like Superwoman. Woo! Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, my
this is Temu. I've got Temu jewelry on.
Mhm.
The corset though is from Amazon. So this one I maybe picked up, I don't know, 10 years ago. It's like one of those pieces that you just kind of keep. But you know, you
Mhm.
can do, and the wig is Temu, you can do fashion on a budget, even if it's Temu Shein, and it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look
Right.
horrible.
Right. Yeah, the wig is great. I mean, and let's face it, with wigs, it's you can really do a lot with wigs to make them better, more presentable, more realistic. There's so many things you can do to them, even to the cheaper wigs. So I did buy a few wigs from Temu that I'm gonna try out. But I mean, you can really do some things to wigs if you if you have style. I'm not a big styler. I won't even lie. I'm really lacking in the fashion department and in the makeup department. Like this is me every day. Like I'm just. Do you do full glam every day, Faith? I need to know. Are you full glam every day like this?
Uh, when I'm out in public. When I'm out in public, unless I am just seriously in a rush and it's like to Walmart, but I still do some makeup, right? You know,
Yeah.
I'll do face, blush, you know, that kind of stuff. A little bit of
Yep.
lash, maybe a flat, little bit of flush of color on my eyes, but I won't go like every single step. But for the most part, yes. For the most
Yeah.
part.
I feel like I'm too old for that. Now I'm in my 50s now. So maybe it's something with that I've just decided to be comfortable the rest of my life. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is, but I used to be so into makeup. I'm and like eyeshadow palettes were my thing. I loved having all of that stuff, and now I just don't. I don't know. But I will tell you this: when I watch your videos, I always think, okay, I need to branch out and like get some items that are like good, solid pieces that are fashionable because I do go to an office every day.
Mhm.
So I should try and like pick up a little bit of fashion. What would you say are main pieces that everybody should have in their wardrobe?
I would say definitely a pair of classic pants, brown and black. Always can't go wrong. However, the caveat to black and brown is
Mhm.
it is a but to match those shades. It is a but. So if you're going to go black pants, go with like a gray blazer because matching two different shades of black to me is like a thorn in my side. That's something that, you know, like picking a scab. I just want to pick that scab.
Yeah.
Your don't match, your blues don't match. So what I would say to that is just definitely go like a way shade lighter. So navy blue with like a baby blue or sky blue or something like that. Or if you're going to be wearing a blazer, like a black blazer, you can go with gray trousers. So obviously trousers are a big staple piece. Now, I really like the Halara trousers that they have because they're
Mhm.
super elasticy. They don't have buttons, they don't have zips. They're like pull on, stretchy material. They are phenomenal and classy looking and comfy for sure.
Good, good to know. Good to know. So you don't think people like see I always tend to lean towards black to anyways, just because of my like I'm plus size, so I always tend to lean towards black thinking, "Oh, that'll hide things." But then I always kind of feel like maybe that's not the way I should go, and I've been trying to wear more color. Um I feel like that's just a personal thing. I probably shouldn't be so self-conscious about myself and you know, I probably would look better if I did just branch out into other colors. Like I always lean towards black and gray too. Like it's so funny you say black and gray or brown because that's exactly what I would buy. It's exactly what I would go for.
It's like my staple piece, right? Black is staple for I think everybody, but you know those chocolate browns too. You pull in a chocolate brown pant with a taupe
Hmm.
top.
Yeah.
But I do prefer my darker colors, and it's really hard to find some of the fun fashions with some of those brighter colors. And I think when you're trying to slim or create a slimmer appearance, stay
Hmm.
away from any prints that are horizontal. Stick with vertical prints. Like if you're going to do
Right.
straight lines, horizontal patterns will kind of give you the illusion of you're larger this way versus
Mm,
this way. So those
right. Yeah.
are some of their things that I have picked up.
Do you think too that smaller prints or larger prints make a difference? Like, you know how those, you can find something like a little ditzy print. Do you think that makes any difference between wearing that with like a big flowered print or
I th-
no?
I think flowered, like big prints overall, I think is kind of, I don't want to say aging. I want to say it's like, I don't know. It I don't know how to explain it. I think I've heard some people say that large patterns kind of bring like,
Like a grandma vibe?
yeah, like no, I don't want to be offensive.
That's okay. We're not being offensive. We're just talking, you know. I mean, I do get that. I can see where that would play in, you know. I
Yeah,
can
I
see
mean
where
we're
that would
talking
play
about
into
like,
like a grandma vibe.
yeah, something that's all patterned up is one thing, but if it's like big chonky patterns, that just kind of covers the entire thing, I think can be too loud as well.
Yeah.
And you can always take a purse, some earrings, a pair of shoes, and have that be your fun little staple piece that gives it that little pow. If you don't even want to get into like the funky items of clothing, you could just branch out into a funky pair of pants, or not pants, shoes, or a funky purse or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I love a nice handbag, a good hand. I have several handbags. I feel like accessories can make an outfit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Even if someone's wearing head to toe black, if they accessorize it correctly, it can look so good. Or any color really.
Yep.
I love accessories. Accessories are that's my thing. I love jewelry, handbags, wigs, all kinds of things. So
Mhm. And wigs is just another accessory. It's
yeah,
so fun.
absolutely it is.
I'm glad I
Absolutely
got
it
into
is.
it.
Yeah, I am too. I'm seeing more people branch out into the wig world, which I love because I've been wearing wigs daily. I mean, I wear my wigs all day. When I go to work, I wear them all day long, and then I'll come home and I cook dinner in them. And the only time I take my wig off is usually at night, and I'll put my hair up in a bun and go to bed. Mainly for me, it takes the ease out of me having to style my hair every morning.
Hmm.
Because if I get up in the morning and I do, makeup and wigs, I'm a good hour getting ready. And then so it takes at least a half hour out of my morning just doing my hair and everything. So I love wigs; they're the best. And of course, I have a thinning hair issue going on. I'm perimenopausal, and I was pretty sick a couple of years ago, so I lost a little hair, a lot of hair then. So Two Loving Klutzes wants to know, are wigs very hot for summer? They can be. They can be. I'm kind of lucky. I live in a state where, in the winters, it's even cold here right now. Faith lives in a cooler climate as
Hmm.
well. I'm pretty sure our climates are probably pretty similar. Um, so it was about 40 here today, and it's supposedly spring.
A,
But
a lot of the wig galleys that I've been watching, and you can find a ton of them on TikTok,
mhm,
they'll talk about open wefting and closed wefting wigs. So the open
yeah,
wefted wigs are going to be
mhm,
more breathable. Having long hair on your neck, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I
oh
sweat
yeah,
like a pig. I mean, I sweat. My face sweats, everything sweats. I'm just a wet, drippy sweat mess.
yeah,
So I don't like stuff on my neck. So I would probably do like shorter wigs, or having wigs that I can put into updos and stuff like
mhm.
that to keep it off of my neck, and that would be helpful.
I think what I usually do in the summer is I'll usually get a topper and maybe like a little hair scrunchie type thing, and
Hmm.
I'll try and do an updo with that in the summer to keep my hair up but still have like quite a bit of hair. So I did buy a couple of toppers from Temu and a human hair scrunchie I found on there, which is really good quality, by the way. So I think I'm going to do a video at some point showing how to use a topper and a scrunchie for summer in case, if someone doesn't have a whole lot of hair. So that's an idea, instead of a wig, to use a topper. Because you can pull a topper up and it doesn't have all that wefting in the back. So it's a lot less stuff on your head. So I think I will do a video on that, like as we get into warmer temperatures. But yeah, wigs are it's something that is fun, but it's a little bit daunting for everybody, it seems.
Yeah.
People don't want people it kind of felt like oh my gosh, like I always see people in the wig community that say I don't want to go out in public in a wig, I'm too afraid somebody will see me out in a wig. And it's just like, that is literally not the worst thing that could happen to you in the grand scheme of life. Believe me,
it's actually the best, you guys.
Yeah. I
told my mom to watch me. I don't know if she is or not. If you are, Mom, hi.
Hi, Mom.
But Mom is my own. She's like my worst critic when it comes to wigs. She'll be like, I don't like that one, or I don't like the color on that one. But when I go out into public, that's everybody has got something to say, is going to say something positive.
Absolutely.
I love your hair color. I love the cut. I love I've heard highlights. I love the blend of your highlights. And whenever you say it's a wig, they're all, and then they want to get real up close and they want to see you do one of these because they almost don't believe you. They're not looking at that, you guys. They're really not looking at this. They're looking at this,
Nope. Yeah. I always said before I wore wigs, hey, Mom is watching. Hi, Mom. Your mom's in the comments. You know what the funny thing is like, I used to think back to before I ever wore wigs, and how many times before you ever knew about wigs or wore wigs, did you ever look at someone's hairline? Never. Like who just goes around looking at people's hairlines? Now, of course, now I do because I wear wigs. And so it's something I notice. But the average Joe out there on, in Walmart or whatever, they don't know. They really don't know. I can't tell you how many times I've been, oh my gosh, in a store, at a restaurant, at the post office, and someone will say, oh my gosh, what color is your hair? Like, what do I tell my hairdresser to get my hair like that? I mean, people just really don't.
CSC.
Yeah, right. Chelsea Smith Cosmetics. That's my hairdresser. But I mean, no, honestly, like in the grand scheme of life, nobody will really notice. And even if they do, it's not the worst thing that could happen to you in the world. Believe me. I can't tell you the times I've said, well, you know what? I wear wigs, and they're like, what? They're like, no way. That's not a wig. I hear that more than anything. I've never had a bad word from anybody about wigs. So I do feel like there's a little bit of a stigma, or maybe not so much now, but maybe 10 years ago, where people were under the assumption that because you wore wigs, you were sick, or, it wasn't considered a, accessory. I think it's more considered an accessory now than it used to be, which is great. I'm glad that more people are feeling more comfortable to wear wigs and try them. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm happy about that.
That's more of a stigma for Caucasian ladies.
Yeah,
more than
I agree.
Anything is that, if you're wearing a wig, it means, you have that something's wrong, that something is wrong. Why do you wear wigs? Well, some people just like to do it for fun, but that's kind of a weird thing, not quite generalized for Caucasian ladies yet, which is bizarre because we wear lashes, we wear makeup, we wear fingernails, so why not normalize a wig just for funsies? So I find that one hard, is like, it's okay to ask why, but on the other side, it's kind of like, don't assume that something is wrong with somebody because they're wearing a wig.
Right. Yeah. I would never just assume that. There's a lot of people out there that is the case, but either way, it's not okay to ask. I don't feel like I feel like I need to put that out there too. Not that I get offended by it, but I have had several people ask me, why do you wear wigs? Like, why are you doing that? Well, because I want to, mainly. That's the only reason I need, really. It's the only reason anybody needs to do anything they want to do. So, I do feel there's like a little bit of that stigma. I think that's why people are so scared to try it, is that they're afraid somebody's going to say, what's wrong, or is there something wrong with you? Or, there isn't. People can do what they want, and it just is what it is. So, Let me look in the comments here and see what Brian said something about me wearing wigs fishing. I have wore wigs fishing. Yeah, I even wear them fishing. So fishing, hunting, whatever.
I wore
It is
one.
what it is.
I wore one to bed just to test out that wig lace glue, just to
Yeah.
see if it would work.
Oh
I
my
mean, I would
gosh.
never recommend wearing them to bed, but
No. Yeah,
no,
me neither.
you know, there was a gal that was on my channel, and she says, "What could you wear it overnight if you were a single lady and you were out at a resort and you met somebody?" I'm like, well, I mean, I guess you could, but my wig lace glue didn't work. So to
Yeah, I
her,
mean, I guess you could.
different waistline glue.
Yeah, Brian didn't know that I wore hair extensions and stuff when we first started dating. He had no clue, so no clue. Hi Cindy. Cindy reviews for you said hello. Hi Kaylee's. Yeah, Kim said she couldn't tell either one of us were wearing a wig, so
Yep.
most people can't.
Yep. Not unless you point it out. And
Right.
we're kind of at like a talking distance, right? So for talking distance, it's not so obvious unless somebody is really intruding on your 3 foot personal bubble, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, Kay, until the bun incident. Did I tell you about the
Yeah.
bun incident? Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like I think that was in my live with Brian, wasn't it? Oh my gosh. That was so guys, I think he was more embarrassed than I was, okay?
Your
He's
weave
like
fell off.
your weave fell off. Your weave popped up. I mean, honestly, it was more funny than anything. We still laugh about it today. Like we go by that creek all the time and I always say, "Hey babe, that's where my weave popped off." You know, I mean, it's funny. We just think it's funny. So, you know, that's all. It's really not. I'm just glad it's becoming more mainstream now, and that people don't worry about it as much. So I'm really enjoying that. I'm glad that I'm even glad that a lot of other YouTubers or even Temu haulers I've seen you wanting to try wigs and stuff. I love that. I just love that. I like seeing people wear wigs. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's nothing to be ashamed of, and it's just fun. It's
And
fun.
when
That's all.
And when you meet strangers, this is something that's really heartwarming to me is I have my little business cards with that QR code that you sent me a while back.
Mhm.
And somebody says, "Hey, I love your hair." And I say, "Hey, it's a wig. Here's my card. Check out my channel." It's not to get people to come into my channel. I feel like you're interested in wigs. Let me on my channel, I have lots of different reviews, tips and tricks, get an idea, a feel for it, see what you think. And some people have just been like, thank you for this.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think people appreciate the knowledge
Mm-hmm.
and how to go, because a lot of people who are just getting into wigs, they need a lot of help. I
Mm-hmm.
did 8 or 9 years ago. I needed a lot of help. I thought I was just going to buy a wig and throw it on my head and that was going to be it. Well, that's not how it worked. That is not how it worked at all.
Bye,
You know,
Cindy. Bye, Cindy.
it's
Thanks for stopping in.
bye, Cindy. God bless. See ya. Um, Two Loving Klutzes says it makes you feel like you have the best hair ever. Absolutely, it does. That's the great part. It's like I don't have to style it so much. Or now, human hair is a whole other ball
Yes.
game.
Yeah.
There's a lot more styling involved with human hair. But synthetics, no. I could go to a baseball game and get rained on, and my styles will still stay the same, but human hair is a little bit different. If you go out in the rain, it's going to react like regular hair. It's going to be flat and you're going to lose your style. So I prefer the synthetics for that reason, not to mention the price. But so,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, and sometimes you have to think of, some people say, well, because I made that mistake. My first synthetic wig that I bought, I thought I had ruined it because I had straightened it and I wanted to put curl back in it. It wouldn't hold the curl. So you have to think of a synthetic wig as being a plastic. So you
mhm.
have to warm the plastic to make that shape. Kind of like think of your water bottles. You melt it in a way that it kind of loses its shape and turns into something else. And then when it cools, it will hold that shape, but you have to hold it in that shape
Right.
until it cools. And I didn't
Yes.
know that. I didn't know that. And I was all panicked, like, oh my God, I just destroyed my most expensive wig.
Yeah. Yeah, that I had to learn that the hard way too. In the beginning, I thought I could just curl it like my regular hair. You know, you put it in a curling iron, you take it out, and then it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not how it works. So I
No.
actually bought a, you know, those steam rollers. Oh, they're old school now. It was like a hot roller set that had steam in it, and they would get hot. I would take those and put curls in my and just put them in my synthetic hair and leave them in like overnight. So they would
Mm-hmm.
be hot when they went in and then it would cool overnight. They work really, really good too. So if you can get a set of like the steam hot rollers that have like a not they're not the hard plastic, they're almost like that squishy sponge kind of feel. But
Well,
they were great for that kind of stuff.
yeah, I got this, the
Yeah,
air.
I have that
You
too.
said you have one, but I see
Mhm.
all the TikTok girlies using this, and I can't wait to try it because it has that airflow where it cools on the outside, where it's got
Yeah,
the hot plates on the inside. So
right.
I'm really interested in trying that out.
Yeah, I think it's Tressalor maybe, or one of the wig brands, and Lisa might know this in chat. One of them has a similar item like that. It's called a Cool Shot or something, but it's a curling iron with some cool air in it as well. Um, but I don't know. I think I have that somewhere. I haven't tried it. I need to branch out, and that's what I like about synthetics is I don't have to style it a lot of the time. Now I do have to sometimes go over the ends. In tomorrow's video, I think I'm gonna take tomorrow to. I've been wearing this one wig every single day to work, and it's a hot mess right now. Like it needs something done to it, so I'm gonna try and fix that on tomorrow's video. But you definitely need those kind of tools for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, you do. And Sarah wants to know if we've tried any Timu wigs. This is a Timu wig, and I have to say that, I think like this corner is Timu. I've got like my short pixie cut. I don't know how much of this wig rack you can see is Timu. I've got some real bangers from Timu. This is probably the one that gets the most comments
Yeah, I
because of
love that one.
platinum. Yeah, the platinum color, the cut on this, and the beach wave. And I usually get them for like $20 to $30, which is very inexpensive. And what's nice about that is if you want to do all of this stuff, if you want to play with all of these wig tools, you want to
Hmm.
try trimming them and thinning them and putting bangs in using the thinning shears, all of this kind
Hmm.
of stuff, get a cheap Timu wig. Play around. Play
Hmm.
around with it. You
Yeah.
can't go wrong.
Right. I mean, Timu wigs can go as low as $10. Like
Yep.
they're a good wig to get that you can try and style or curl or cut or whatever. Where do you buy wigs if you have a larger than average sized head? I would first start by taking your measurements because you might think you have a large head, but it might not be as big as you think as in the wig world. Because I'm actually a petite in wigs technically, but I can wear an average cap. And I think 98% of people can wear an average cap. I
Mm-hmm.
think probably.
Yeah.
Because even if there's very few people I know that are actually a large in the wig world, technically.
Now,
So I think if you bought an average size cap, you'll fit into it. Unless you've got But like I said, measure your head, go online, search for a wig circumference chart or something, and check it out.
now, what I can say is another one of my favorite brands is the I Am Style brand. The I
Hmm.
Am Style brand, they typically have sales on Amazon and TikTok Shop. Watch for those where they're going to be like 50, $60. Still very affordable. And they are pretty much widow peak friendly, pre-plucked hairline. And they do have a tendency to run on the larger size of things.
Hmm.
Although their new fashions are, yes, starting to come a little bit smaller for some people who have said, hey, don't forget about us, people with smaller heads.
Right. Yeah. When I do my sizing, my circumference is 21.75, which kind of puts me in the petite range. But I also have a little bit of hair too. So Lisa made a good suggestion that also, take into consideration the hair on your head as well. If you're tucking up some hair, that'll go into your measurement as well. So I don't have a whole lot of hair to tuck up in there, but yeah, so I can usually wear a petite or an average. Some of the averages can be large. Like I'm guessing those ones you held up. Some of them do run big for those brands. But yeah, just make sure you take your measurements. Yeah, right. Rachel M. Okay, so we already talked about that. Let's see. I saw another question somewhere, but I'm trying to find it now. Oh, Alice, share about caps. Can't find one to stay on.
Okay, so I think personally, what you'll definitely want when you're doing caps, and I don't know, Jen, tell me if I'm wrong here, are the ones with all of the combs. So the combs, they can pull on your bio hair. So you do also want to consider that. But the nape combs, the adjusters in the bottom, if it's too tight, it'll pop off your head. If it's too loose, it'll pop off your head. But the combs and the adjusters are what really help that to stay. So I have some wigs, like my Timu wigs that have bangs in them, don't have any combs. And so if I wanted to do anything with those other than have them down, they come off my head.
Yeah. The other thing that's important as far as keeping a wig on is what you're wearing underneath it. A lot of people, like me in particular, I have a very flat head in the back. I have like no occipital bone back there. I have nothing. It took me forever to figure out how to get a wig to stay on. Definitely making sure that you're wearing the right size helps. The combs definitely help. A wig grip, I only wear a wig grip. If I wear a wig cap, because it won't stay down, my wigs flop off. It just really depends on your head shape. It depends on what you're wearing underneath your wigs. I know for me personally, I feel like, well, I guess I could take this off. Boy, we're going to get personal up in here. But
let's take it off.
We are really going to, I have like all my hair. I want to show you guys the wig cap because let me put my glasses back on so I can see. Okay, so here's my wig grip. Now, underneath my wig grip, I usually put hairspray right here. Or if some people will put glue underneath these to hold the grip down. Because as long as you can keep the grip down, then your wig will stay. You also have to make sure you have this wig grip going the right way. If you feel your wig gripping and you feel it this way, it should feel rough. If you go this way, it should feel soft. That's how you know you have it on. A lot of people shave their heads. Like I know Lisa does. She just shaves it and, your stubble will sometimes just leave it on. But the back of here, I usually keep like this clip right here. I keep it at the back and tuck my wig grip under that. And that's also where I tuck the bottom, comb also to keep the wig down back there. So that's the other thing is to do that. So yeah. That's my 2 cents though about that, but it really depends on your head shape. But do you have any other, how do you keep yours on? Because you wear a wig cap, don't you?
I have a whole cap on my head because I have more hair. I have more hair, so I have to braid it into pigtails and I crisscross it. And I try to get it as flat as possible. And just to show you too that even if you have a lot of hair, you can still wear these really, really short wigs. It just all depends on how you put your hair up. So like you could get in here with these super ultra short pixie cuts with a lot of hair. You just kind of have to, like I said, crisscross it in the back and then put those caps on top of that too. And I like my fun short pixie cuts.
Yeah, I love those. You can wear pixies for sure. I've never had a pixie, so I don't know. But I brought a couple of wigs down from my wig vault. And you guys, I didn't even know what was in these bags, so I'm not really sure what wig this is. Let me see if I have These are wigs, I just don't even know what they are. I'm going to be honest with you. I know it's a Chelsea Smith Cosmetics wig, but it seems like all of her wigs. Have you bought one Chelsea Smith wig that isn't a closed wefted cap? I feel like they all are.
What about this star one that I just bought?
Like, yeah, by the way, this is like closed wefting. You can't see any of the wefts, and it's just closed.
No, I thought it was an open wefting, and it's not. Her little pixie cut one is, I thought it was open, but it's not.
Yeah, I don't even think I have an open wefted cap down here. Oh wait, maybe the Melrose is. Is it? No. That's why I'm wondering if all of her caps are closed wefted. I'm not sure. But if it was open wefted, this would be open. Yeah, there you go. There's an open wefted cap.
That's an
So
open
there's the
weft. And those are what's going to be more breathable. So basically you could put your finger through that. And you see why it's open wefted is because those individual strips of hair, that's called a weft. But I don't think that any of my Chelsea Smiths are open.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if she even has any.
Maybe her shorter
Hi,
one?
Tamara. Maybe. I'm not even sure which wig this is, but it's pretty.
Yeah, mine are all closed.
Do we have any stay cool tips? Oh boy. I think that's
To stay
that's
cool.
a tough one.
Was that the question? Was stay cool?
Yeah. I would say, like Folk was saying earlier, get an open wefted cap instead of a closed wefted cap. This one needs some zhuzhing. Look at this in the front here.
Hey, it's Cousin It. Oh, hey, by the way, I just picked this up from Temu and like hot glued this onto one of my little light stands because you know my love for burning my skin on my forehead.
Right? Yeah, that last one looked pretty bad.
Yeah, because I've got the shaky hands and every now and then it'll do this, like my foot will do it too. It's like the weirdest thing. And I'll be doing something and then so I'm like, I need to find a solution.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're gonna burn your mannequin head.
Well, it's like $2 for Temu. If it melts, it melts.
So in the summer, Libby, I usually wear toppers or something in the summer. So I'm gonna do a topper video, maybe not tomorrow, but maybe the next Sunday if I can dig out. I got some Temu toppers that I don't even know if I have them yet, but yeah, this one's from the Wig Vault, so I haven't like done anything to it yet. I haven't styled it or nothing. This would be how it would come straight from the store.
Low density. Doing a low density wig is also going to help you cool. A low density is going to be like your 100 to 120% range. Because that just means that the hair itself is going to be a lot thinner, so that when you put a ponytail, it's either going to be like this or like this. You want it to, you want it to be a little on the thinner side.
This is a pretty heavy wig here. It's probably like a 150 density. If you go on Chelsea Smith Cosmetics website, or actually any wig website, they'll usually list the wig density. So definitely go for a lower density wig if you you want to stay cool. But I would also pull the wig up in the summer, because there's nothing worse than having it on your neck and sweating to death.
Yeah. So and this is that one that I get comments on every time I wear it. People love this one. And this one I picked up from Temu for $20.
Ooh, dang, nice.
Yeah. This one was a good find.
Yeah, I really like that one. It's very pretty.
Have you done this yet, Jen? Is put your little in your
bag? I keep my wigs in the satin
it's
bag, it's like the shoe container thing, and then it has like I don't know how many holes it had, like 15 or 18 or something like that. So I put them all in the bags, and then I put the little sachet of pink zebra scent in in there, and it's nice because it keeps them, like, they smell really nice. This one is a Summer Becky from Chelsea Smith. I've never worn this either. I like their Becky's. This can't be a summer Becky. It's way too thick. It says summer Becky, but
I love the water waves, and this
me
is my
too.
new practice wig that I have done just about everything on, like thinned it, straightened it, trimmed it, cut it, all of that. But I saw that link that I sent you, where they take
Mhm.
those little zippity strips that look like little like waves, like what you're wearing, but you pull your hair through there with a crochet hook,
Oh,
and then
oh yeah, yeah.
he put a bag over it with a blow dryer and stuff and let it warm up and then let it cool, and it put in those waves. I love the waves.
Yeah, that
So
looks, I do too. This is a real pretty, it's a
yeah.
little bit darker than I would usually wear. It's a lot of hair. I would thin this for sure if I was going to wear it like every day. Um, Cherie said, what did she have hanging in there? A wax warmer? It is actually wax.
Yeah.
It's scented wax from Pink Zebra. And, yeah, we just put it in the little sachet bags or whatever you want to call them.
And it makes your wig smell beautiful.
Yeah.
And it keeps them smelling delicious.
People are probably hating this live because I'm really touching the hair, and they always complain that I touch my hair too much.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, today's a touching hair video. If you better log out now because this wig is shedding a lot. Wow.
So on my last video, I did this wig. This is a Timu wig, and this one is a low density. I believe that the density on this one is actually 100. I think this is probably one of my lowest density as it came. And then I did bring out, if you were to put your hair up, basically you don't want to just pull it up like this where you're seeing that wig. So you start with that. You start by pulling it all up, but then you will start to pull down the pieces so that it covers up the back of that wig, and it'll cover anything over your ears. You can bring out your pieces and kind of give it like a messy bun look without looking too wiggy. So even if you wanted to wear your longer wigs in the summer, but you still want to keep it off your neck,
Yeah.
it's very kind of simple, actually, to do.
Just trying to keep this out of my face. Hi MJ. Yeah, Chiquita, this will be up on replay so you can watch it later, or for the beginning, or yeah, it'll be up after the live's over. Let's see. When do I know it's time to wash a wig? I very rarely wash my wigs. I won't even lie. I don't I don't work out in my wigs or anything like that. So
You're not
I
that
would say,
fishing.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the wigs I wear fishing are usually not the wigs that I'd wear like every day. You know what I mean? Oh, actually, a lot of times I'll even wear like a hat fishing, but I would say I wash mine, oh gosh, maybe once every 20 wears. Maybe that much. I'm not even gonna lie. Because the more you wash them, the faster they're gonna they're gonna disintegrate. There's something about a fresh bought wig that you'll never get back once you wash it. It just will not be the same.
Yeah, they do put a coating on it to kind of keep
Yeah.
it both. But the TikTok galleys that I've been watching, they're like, when it starts to feel gross. I mean, if you're putting product in it and it starts to feel gross,
yeah.
like really gross.
I try not to put a whole lot of product in my wigs just for that reason. If you're putting a lot of product, then you're gonna have to wash it a lot sooner. So I very rarely try and put product in my wigs. I wash mine only with wig shampoo and wig conditioner, and that's it. Because I know there's a lot of how do I want to say this? There's there's a lot of people in the wig world that will say you can wash them with laundry detergent and then fabric softener, and you can. But I find that if I do that, the fabric softener makes them really gummy over time. So I would highly recommend using a wig shampoo and a wig conditioner, no matter what brand it is. Even Chelsea Smith has wig shampoo and conditioner. There's you can find wig shampoo and conditioner on Temu. In fact, I bought some that I'm going to try off of Temu. Looks like this. So we're going to try that, but I wouldn't really recommend any like human hair shampoo because it's not human hair. So it's not going to wash the way you want it to, you know what I mean? So definitely use wig shampoo and conditioner. Do you go on vacation with your wigs? Oh, I wish I could go on vacation. Vacation, what's that?
Yes, but I do. I wear one on my head and I put one in a bag to bring. And I usually do one long, one short.
Yeah, I would definitely bring wigs. So yeah. Yeah, I would definitely bring wigs if I went on vacation for sure. Heck yeah. And they're very easy to travel with, so they don't take up a whole lot of room. So that's nice.
Yeah, but you want to put them in a satin bag.
Mm-hmm.
You travel with them. Kind of roll them up inside of the cap, turn the cap inside out, and then put that into a satin bag just to keep it frizz-free and tangle-free as much as possible, especially if somebody in customs is going to be digging around in your luggage or something like that, you know, so.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people ask too if they set off the alarms at the airport, and no, I've never had that happen yet. So don't be worried about going through the airport security and having your like some type of alarm go off. It won't.
I mean, if I was to walk through airport security right now with everything that I have pierced, I would have to sit for an hour taking everything out and putting everything back in every single time I flew. And I don't have to worry about that. And I wear underwire bras. So I light up like a Christmas tree. They just maybe have to do an extra pat down and then they call it good.
Right. Or you could say, well, by the way, I have a wig on. It has combs in it. So if it lights up, that's why.
Yeah.
Lisa said if she sweats it on her wigs, the fibers don't need a wash. She'll spray dry shampoo on the inside of the cap to freshen it back up. That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea because really, just yep.
Less product, but the scent. Bye, Jess.
Bye, Jess. Nothing to do with wigs, but did you get married, Jen? No, not yet. We're still trying to. Everybody's pushing me to get married. I don't know what to do. Yeah, I can't decide. I don't know. To me, kind of marriage is I love the whole concept of a wedding, you know. I love the fantasy of a wedding, the romance of a wedding, but it won't change my feelings for, you know, it's not going to change my feelings or anything like that. Now, we did get engaged, like, because our parents do want us to get married. I'm 50, you know, but our parents do want us to get married, but it's like, it's not, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that.
If I did, I would lose my insurance.
Right?
There are some things some things you would gain. Sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes it's not.
Exactly.
And it is snug on my noggin.
Is that copper? Is that cowboy copper shimmer?
This is glitterly, and this is the one I picked up in petite by accident because I said it was like going through the mega sale, and I was like, add to cart, check out before anybody else pull them off. And I got this one in a petite, and I'm like, so it's a little bit snug on my head, a little bit. But yes, this is one that I'm going to take some of I want the glitters like in the bottom of it, but I think in the top is too much. So I'm definitely going to pluck out those glitters for sure.
Yeah, I saw somebody do that. I think that was the exact wig I saw someone do that on. They thinned it and took a lot of the glitter out. And believe me, there's a lot of glitters in there. Like she took out a lot of them and they looked really good.
Yep. For when I dress up as a unicorn.
Yeah, I need the glitter for the unicorn.
It's unicorn is like my go-to Halloween costume.
Love it. Love it. I haven't dressed up for Halloween in a hot minute. I can't remember. I think I went as a zombie the last time I dressed up. But I was like, that was when Walking Dead was really big, and I love doing special effects makeup. Like, I love it.
Oh,
I'm a
really?
I'm a huge special effects makeup gal. I love doing special effect makeup. I can make my skin look like it's ripping off or burn marks and all kind of fun stuff. So I love that.
Yeah, that's one thing I've not done. Now, I've really only gotten into like the full glam since 2020 when we were all locked in our houses with nothing
Yeah.
better to do. I just started watching makeup videos and really kind of just going for it after that, you know. But before it was not, I would do makeup, but not nearly to this extent. So, I mean, I'm really only 5 years into doing makeup in this way. So I think, you know, special effects makeup, you really got to have special uber duper skills for that.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's fun. I haven't done that in a while. I might have to do a video on that now that I think about it. I don't know if anybody'd be interested in that though, but yeah, I love that kind of stuff. I always wanted to be in the movies though, like that. I always wanted to be in show some kind of show or something like the Solid Gold Dancers. I was a big fan of the Solid Gold Dancers back in the day. That was probably before everybody's time, but I always wanted to be dancing, singing, doing something on stage. What about you? What's your dream job?
I have none. I have none. I was that kind of person that I'm going to do it all. I'm going to do it all. I got a job at a dog kennel where, you know, I working with dogs and kennels. I've done oil tech, oil lube tech. I've done auto detailing,
Wow.
carpentry, construction. I just want to learn all trades and do everything. So there's nothing in my brain that says I've got to do that for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
There's not.
nice. Wow. I can't imagine you an oil tech person, like changing someone's oil or something. That's crazy.
Mhm.
Good for you. It's good to know that kind of stuff though.
It
You know what I
is.
mean?
And nails is a new thing for me. I just started doing nails in the last year. I mean, if you were to look at my nails, it's obvious to you that I have beat the crap out of myself.
I do too. That's why I don't do mine. I actually did mine today, a little Timu nail moment, but that's about the longest I can get with my job. So right
Mhm.
now, but hey, shout out to the Solid Gold Dancers from K Elite. I loved Solid Gold Dancers. Okay, I used to watch Solid Gold, and then what was that Soul Train? Like was right off after that. I loved that. I love dancers and singers and that kind of thing. I wish I could have been involved in that, but
See,
you know,
we didn't have cable growing up, so when people were talking about like VH1 and MTV and all this stuff, I'm like,
hmm.
no clue. No clue.
Oh,
We had
really?
two channels. We had two or three channels and we had the rabbit ears. So if you wanted to watch TV, like you had to hold the rabbit ear, jump on one foot, stick your tongue out in the air, and then be like, maybe I can get that to come in.
Oh
And
my gosh.
if you wanted to watch something, you know, chances are you're like 3/4 of the way through a movie by the time you got to it, or
Right.
if we had to rent VHSs if we wanted to
Yeah.
watch TV.
I remember that back in the day, the old Blockbuster and everything. We don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
American Bandstand. Lisa used to watch American Bandstand. I used to love that too.
I did
Did you live in a
know.
remote area as a kid?
Yeah,
Like, were you in a remote? Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. We were in an unincorporated village of Powers in Michigan. And
Wow.
it was after I graduated high school, they finally put it on the map.
Nice. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That must be a small town.
small town. So movies that were available for us to rent were at mom and pop shops, which were like their new releases in the store were like 5-year-old movies.
Oh my God, that's funny. Yeah. Somebody left a comment about menopause. A topic we could get into is menopause. We've been on here an hour, so I don't know if Faith wants to get into that right now, but I want to tell you guys a little story about menopause really quickly, because that's, man, I'll tell you, I have been going through it. So about 2 years ago or so, I started having just really weird symptoms, super weird. Uh,
That
I
breathing
had,
thing.
yeah, I had my breathing thing, which was like the only way I can explain it would be air hunger. Like I felt like I couldn't get enough oxygen in my lungs. And I also had this like lump in my throat, and I was super tired. I had really bad tachycardia. I had to wear a heart monitor for a month. What else was going on? I wish I had my notebook. I actually wrote down all my symptoms when all this was happening, because I knew I was going to have to go to the doctor. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I'm just like, what the heck? I felt, the other thing that I could say is I felt really brain foggy, and like, I would tell my mom would be like, what is there, there's something, she knew something was wrong with me. I'm just like, I feel like I'm outside my body. Like I'm looking, like I'm watching myself live my life, but I wasn't really living it. You know what I mean? And it was just really weird. And it got so bad that I don't even know how I was making it to work, to be honest with you. I was getting really bad anxiety and depression because of it. I was making it to work, but barely. I was having horrible heart palpitations. I was having horrible anxiety. I was having these feelings of like impending doom. Like it was like I was just waiting for something to happen. Like it was so weird. It was like it just almost happened overnight one day. It was really weird. So I went to the doctor, and she said, you know, that the heart, they did a EKG that day. I did have tachycardia that day. My blood pressure was up. But anytime I go to the doctors, my blood pressure's up, because I'm not a big fan of doctors. So usually when I get there, my blood pressure's up anyways, you know? And so she's like, well, we'll send you to a cardiologist. They did all kinds of, at first I did literally 8 months of testing, you guys, 8 months of just scans, blood work. They thought maybe it was my gallbladder, so I had a gallbladder scan. They thought maybe it was my heart, so I had a heart monitor for a month. I did 3 EKGs. I had echocardiograms. I had, it was just, and my ears ring constantly. They still do. I still have this ear ringing thing that goes on all the time. So they sent me to the ENT for that. Nobody could figure out what was wrong with me. Nobody. They were like, it's in your head. Eventually they ended up making me feel like I was crazy. Like they were just like, it's all in your head. Like, we can't figure out what's wrong with you. Your blood work's fine. Your heart's fine. There's no lung issues. It was like they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. So she's like, well, we'll put you on anxiety medicine. So they put me on Prozac, because I guess they thought I was just having I was having panic attacks. It was just very weird. And then I had said, I remember specifically, Brian would be so nervous that something was going to happen to me, because I would be laying on the couch every night, you guys, like literally, like I can't even explain what was happening. I don't, it was horrible. Like I was laying on the couch, and he would just watch me breathe just to make sure I was still living. Like that's how bad it got. Like it was just really bad. And I was literally just kind of waiting for something to happen. I didn't know, like, am I about to have a heart attack? Am I, what's going on with me? I did that month-long heart monitor. They're like, nothing's wrong with you. Your heart's fine. We can't da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, this is just ridiculous. What is going on with me? And it got so bad that I eventually went back to my regular physician. I made an appointment. And by the way, this was like 9 months later. I'd been going through this for like 9 months. And I was at the point, and I'm just going to say this, but I don't want to say it without getting demonetized. I was at the point where I was ready to unalive myself, to be quite honest with you. It was bad. I was like literally begging God to either take me or save me or do something. Like do something with me, because I can't live. I don't want to live like this. Like it was bad. And my last ditch effort, I said, apparently I'm gonna have to fight for myself, because nobody was helping me. Like I was just, go back to this doctor, go to that doctor, have this done, have that done. So I made an appointment with my regular physician. I go back to her, and I went in her office. She come in, she's like, oh, what's going on with it? I said, listen to me. I said, there is something wrong with me. All of these things, I know you're telling me there's nothing wrong with me. I know you're giving me anxiety medicine. I said, but there's something wrong with me. I said, could it be menopause? Am I premenopausal? Are my hormones messed up? What is going on with me? Because I was at the point where I mean, when you get to a point where you can't even function every day, then there's something wrong with you. So I said that day, I said, you're going to have to help me. You're going to have to do something. So she sent me for hormonal blood work. And that's what it was. It was my hormones, you guys. It was, I had started like premenopause and, or perimenopause or whatever they're calling it. And I was having some anxiety and depression issues. So the anxiety medicine did help. But I mean, to go through that whole 8-9 months of just test after test after test and them telling me nothing's wrong with me and, all of that, it was pretty horrible. So always fight for yourself. When you're in the medical community, you have to advocate for yourself these days and, just make sure you do that because if you don't, it's rough, but and honestly, that's the main reason I got, and so kind of a testimony here. And I know I don't want to talk about religion on here too much, but when I asked God, I was like, I either please take me or fix me. It wasn't a week later, y'all. I felt so much better. So much better. I don't know if I'm not saying maybe it was a coincidence or maybe it was something, but something clicked inside me and maybe something, I don't know if maybe the anxiety medicine kicked in. I don't know. But either way, I felt so much, I don't know. I feel so much better now than I did then. And I don't know why, but all I know is I do. So it's real, so just, menopause can be a really hard thing to go through for women. It's hard. It's hard. But,
and I have to imagine that a lot of that stress was coming down to the fact that there are people telling you that there was nothing wrong with you.
Oh yeah, yeah, 100%.
It was all in your mind, and that makes you, because that brings that on you. Like, am I crazy? Am I overreacting? Am I overthinking this? And then you get into that being part of the anxiety and the stress.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was a big problem. And plus just the anxiety of not knowing what's wrong with you, and people telling you there's nothing wrong with you, but there is because you can't even function. So it was rough. It was pretty rough, but God willing and the creek don't rise. Here we are today and much better now. So that's, praise the Lord for that and whatever else. I don't even know. But
and that breathing thing you were saying, I didn't even know that was a thing. Not even knew that was a thing. Because I'm a smoker. I smoke cigarettes. I have since I was 14. So it's been some time. I've quit off and on. But I do find myself starving for air, as you would put it. I'm not doing anything strenuous. I'm not having a cigarette at that point. I'm not, I'm just sitting there. I'm just sitting there and I'm like, why do I need to have such a deep breath? And it just still feels like I just ran a marathon.
Yeah. And and that makes you panic inside a little bit because you don't know where it's going. You're like, am I not going to be able to breathe? Like, what's happening here? And you're like, it puts you in a panic situation where you're like, okay, am I going to breathe? What's going on? But I mean, I would literally be sitting at work. I would be sitting watching TV and I would be like,
all of a sudden, just randomly. Yeah.
Yeah. It would just hit you like, I know. And it's the weirdest feeling. It's the weirdest feeling, that air hunger. It's so weird. It's like you know how to breathe, but your body won't let you or something. I don't know. It's so strange, but there's some weird symptoms.
Trish keeps telling us that we need to do some like magnesium and supplements and stuff. And Trish, yes, I do.
I do too.
That magnesium is also good for indigestion issues, leg cramping. It also
Mhm.
helps if you take it at night to help you sleep better. If you do have like cramping and stuff in your muscles. So I take magnesium and calcium, zinc, and iron because I know that I have an iron deficiency. I'm not eating like meat like I should be eating meat for my source of protein. I eat
Mhm.
cheese. And so like if I can get my hands on a steak or a burger or some chicken or some fish, I will eat it all. But it's not my everyday thing. So I eat meat maybe like once or twice a week. So I definitely have to get all of those supplements from what you would get from eating meat.
Yeah. Yeah, I do take magnesium now every day. I take it every day. I try and get a lot of electrolytes in, and every once in a while I'll have a palpitation, or every once in a while I'll have that air hunger, but it's nowhere near as bad. So I don't know if it's just a combination of what I take now, or trying to eat right or better. And it's hard to tell what happened. But yeah, it was a rough road for me, you guys. I'm not even gonna lie. So just
Do you
always advocate for yourself.
do you
Go
have
ahead.
side effects from the hormones that you take?
No, I
No,
don't.
because
Luckily, I don't think I do. I mean, I would say no because I feel like I'm way more productive now than before. So I would say no. I
mm,
mean, I'm on birth control too, so I don't know if that kind of level things out. I don't know. I don't feel any type of I don't think I have any type of side effects from any of that, no.
the Dixie Gypsy wanted to know, can you take magnesium by itself? No. Typically, you
No.
want it with calcium because
Mhm.
the two paired together is what's going to help your body absorb it. Typically, one thing helps the other thing to absorb and vice versa. So, there are some vitamins that you do have to take in combination with each other. And it's not going to be very often that you're going to find just calcium or just magnesium. A lot of times they do
Mhm.
come together for that reason.
Yeah. Yeah, mine has all that in it. And I do. Lisa said she had heart palpitations, anxiety, and she takes ashwagandha, and that helps. I also take that as well. So yeah, maybe my supplements have helped, but I don't know.
Yeah, diet, everything that you put in your body is big. But you guys, am I going to sit here and say eat a healthy diet? Do you think that's feasible for everybody? I mean, my
It's
go-to
not for
is
me.
peppers.
Yeah, I mean, the eating part's the hardest thing in my life. It always has been. I mean, I've always been like a overeater and a you know sweet tooth type of gal, but I don't know. I mean, and I eat meat, so who am I to say? I mean, I don't know what. I've done keto before in my life, and it made me feel a lot better. I think people should just do what's right for them. If it makes you
Mhm.
feel good, it makes you then do what you need to do. But um, yeah. But I will say that I do have a horrible time losing weight at this point in my life. I don't know if that's because of menopause or my age, but I do find that now, even when I do keto, oh my gosh, like it takes me, I don't know, I have to literally exercise and do something like that at this point.
And there's so
So,
much stuff there. They say cinnamon every day, or what is
mm,
the other one? Apple cider vinegar every day, or gosh, there's so many
yeah,
like fix. If you just take a mouthful of this every day, you'll lose weight.
yeah.
I I just don't think that's the way to go.
No. By the way, we don't advocate taking any medication. Right? We better say that. By the way, the disclaimer, we don't advocate any diet or health medications or anything like that. Um, just in case somebody takes something crazy and comes back, I just
Yeah. I've
um,
I've heard some, and they're like, oh, it's so effective, and then it's like, is it though? Is it because it's one of those when you're watching YouTube and then it goes on to like a commercial, and it's one of those 20-minute long commercials that you have to watch at least the first couple minutes before you can skip it.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of things out there on the YouTubes and the TikToks and all the things. Lisa said she feels best when she does a low carb. I do too. But yeah, once you fall off, it's really hard to get back on, and then you put the weight back on really fast. So I think just like anything in life, moderation is key.
Yeah.
That's the you know.
I've got like the gummies and the licorice, and that's my thing though.
Yeah,
Like,
me
now that
too.
I've had something salty, I have to have something sweet.
Me too.
I need
Same.
those lifesaver gummies. I need my licorice. It's like that's a big one. If I could just get rid of those.
I know. If I love like Swedish fish and stuff like that. Oh my gosh. Everybody's kind of asking how to trim a lace front. I might have to do that on camera someday, but what I do, and I don't know if Faith does this too. I put the wig on my head,
Yeah.
and then I literally just cut right around here and around the ears. Now, some places you can get the lace pre-cut, like Chelsea Smith Cosmetics. They always do a really good job cutting the lace. So I always have them cut the lace because it's free, but that makes it so you can't return the wig. But I put my wig on and just cut around. And I cut as close to the what do I want to say, the hairline as possible. I don't leave a whole lot of lace there.
And
but that's
on the flip side, on my personal preference, I do like to come a little bit below, just in case I have to do glue or tape or blend into this huge mask of makeup.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'll leave a little. I mean, it's easier to take lace off, so make sure you know.
Yeah.
If you do cut the lace, cut it longer at first, and then cut it shorter as you need to, because you can't put it back once it's off. So
yeah. And Chelsea Smith Wigs is a free lace cutting service, so you just have to go and add it into cart.
Mm-hmm. I think most wig places will do that for you. You just have to ask them, or there's usually you add it to your cart. But I always have them cut my lace because I've never got a wig from them that the lace wasn't cut properly. So yeah, if anything, I've usually had to go back in and trim it a little bit, but.
And then some people prefer a scalloped edge. Some people prefer a straight edge scissor. It just depends on your preference as well on that. So again, getting those Temu wigs, you guys, get them cheap. Play around.
Yep. Get a lace front wig from Temu and play around. Cut the lace yourself, and go from there. It's easier on a $10 wig than in case you do something wrong than it would be on like $100 wig. So
yeah,
definitely. Okay. Let's see what else.
Nell's wigs. I think I only have one Nell's wigs, and that's like this flamboyant one. And I think she came pre-cut. I don't think I had to request it. So I think there are some companies out there too that just are pre-cut, pre-plucked, pre-this, pre-everything. Those are the easiest ones. So if you find a listing that says pre, that's the good one.
Yeah, especially pre-plucked. That's really nice because I've actually had to pluck a few of the Chelsea Smith wigs. I mean, even though they're pre-plucked or supposedly are.
Hers are more.
I'll still go back in and pluck more.
Yeah. So this is the IM style. This is the pre-pluck in the IM style. It's so fine and thin up front. Also widow peak friendly, which is nice about some of their IM style wigs. But the Chelsea Smith wigs I find are more condensed, and you do have to, if you want this feathered out look, that's when you want to pluck.
Yeah. Because I've bought a couple wigs from Chelsea Smith where they're really, really tight up through here. Almost looks like a line across there. You know what I mean? So I've had to go in and pluck quite a few of those. Bye, Lori and Roxy. It's probably Lori on there. Yeah, I mean, plucking a wig, even the T-part wigs, makes it a little more natural anyway. So I always like to pluck my wigs no matter what. So. I hear Israel in the background. Trish says drink hot lemon water in the mornings before you eat anything. That helps with digestion. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love hot tea, hot water, hot lemon water. I love that.
It's very, when in cultures that drink tea a lot,
Mhm.
even drink their water warm, everything is warm. I do all of, like, if I'm doing soda, it's warm. If I'm drinking water, it's warm. And anything warm is actually good for digestion.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I know a lot of people that don't drink cold water at all. Like they'll just drink like lukewarm water or room temperature water. So
Yeah.
that's interesting. Hi, Tracy. Well, I borrowed Faith for an hour and 20 minutes already. She's probably like, okay, it's time to go.
There's just so much to talk about.
I know.
Things and side effects.
The wig you have on right now, where's that one from, Faith? The one you're wearing right now?
Style. This is an I
I
am
am
style wig. So it's capital I M, lowercase STYLE. I am style.
And then what color is your lipstick?
That is the Milani Color Fetish Hydrating Lip Stain. I knew somebody was going to ask, so I came prepared. This is a really nice lip stain, and it is actually better than my Fenty, which is the higher end version. This has got like a nice little gloss on it that it starts off with, a nice little kind of like an oily gloss, and then it goes away, and then you're just left with this really pretty stain, which is nice so my wigs don't get stuck in it. And it's not that drying. I've had some stains that are very drying, and this one is actually really good.
Nice. Yes, I like the black honey from yeah, time does fly when we're having fun. What the heck? Bye, Annette. But anyways, I think I'm gonna let Faith go for the night. It's getting late. Well, it's like 7:30, but I'm sure everybody has a lot of things to do. So I don't even know. Let me get this comment off the screen here. There we go. Okay. Does anybody else have anything before we leave? Bye. Everybody saying bye. Bye, guys. Thanks, Faith, for coming on and talking about all the things. Appreciate you.
That was fun.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again sometime. Thanks for stopping in and trying on wigs and all the things. That was fun. All right. Bye, Libby. Bye, Kathy. Bye, everybody. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.